So I'm sure like most of you guys by this point, you know that we like the Backrooms around here. We've reacted to the Backrooms. We've played copious Backrooms games too. Ever since Kane Pixels made his entry into the Backrooms, which exploded, by the way, it just seems like the knowledge of what this thing even is has just widespread the internet. Like almost everyone knows what it is. But one of the curious things which always kind of like made people ponder is like, where even is the Backrooms? Like, is this image real? Is it fake? Well, the craziest thing is that people have been researching this so much, and the original location of the Backrooms has actually been found alongside where this image even came from. Look, we're not playing a game today, guys, but you know what we kind of are too? We're playing that game of searching the information, you know? I don't know what that means. Look, guys, Backrooms. So what is going on, guys? This is Ryan here, and yeah, welcome to a video where I just kind of want to look into this little rabbit hole which has recently occurred where the Backrooms original image has been found and has been linked to an actual real place. I've been a super early adopter of the Backrooms as a concept. Like, I remember even playing the Puppet Combo game, which was on the Backrooms. It didn't even go by that name by that point because it wasn't a clickable term. Now, you can even read in my description here, it's like, I've always wanted to experience a fully developed Backrooms horror. I didn't even know how to spell the name by this point, man. Yeah, so for this video, I want to just kind of brief over and look at the history of this image, how it was found. I think it's so fascinating. And if you guys do enjoy this video and you want to see more like this, like, I think you know exactly what to do, man. I mean, if you guys have more concepts that we can do in this video format, just let me know. It's kind of like a new video style, I suppose. All right, we're done anyway. So to brief you guys up on what the Backrooms is and really the concept that the internet's kind of known to grow and love, let me just kind of read this extract. This comes from one of the original posts over on 4chan where there was the image of the Backrooms attached with someone's kind of depiction about what might go down here. If you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality into the wrong areas, you'll end up in the Backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. And that was it. That was all the internet needed to pretty much go down this rabbit hole of, you know, getting creeped out by the Backrooms. This right here, man. A simple image with this text attached, and like, I'm just looking at the image now. I understand entirely why people even think this may not have been real, you know? It just looks so weird, so random and abstract, like it doesn't make sense. It's like, what is this wall? What was it trying to represent? It's the perfect image, the perfect liminal image to have a description like this to really build in your mind. It's like that unease of like, what would even happen? What would be displayed, or would this space even be used for in the first place? And it's just like, oh man. And I think that's why I love the Backrooms so much, because it was a kind of idea where people would get so scared and they would create like the phobias on what would go down in here. I mean, isolation, claustrophobia, despite it being such a massive space, that's what kind of got to me so much. It was so scary and just eerie to look at. And now begins the giant rabbit hole. So this right here, guys, is an entirety of the breakdown of how this image even came about, how people found where it was located. I can't wait to dig into this, bro. I've kind of like tried to hold off so I can experience this with you guys. A little bit of reading note, like we gotta understand this timeline. Let's go ahead and do this. Two things I want to preface as well before going into this. I, first of all, take zero credit for any of the stuff that has been discovered here. This is just up to other people who have spent copious days, months, years looking into this. And second of all, guys, like I'm gonna be trying to hide the location of where this is. I don't condone anyone trying to like reach out, so like don't bother the new company and business that's there. Like they have nothing to do with this. This should be just treated like as an Easter egg fun hunt that we on the internet, I guess, have came together to go ahead and do, and that's all this should be. It shouldn't be anything more than that. Also, another thing, I may actually incorrectly state things. I'm not like a technical whiz. This is just something I thought would be a super fun video to do, and so we're just gonna go ahead and do it. So first of all, we're gonna take it back to like 2019, because this is when the image first started to kind of surface again and people became more aware of it. It would be shared on like, you know, boards on 4chan, like the paranormal board here. People would just pretty much share like unnerving images of just random things that don't really make much sense. We got this one here, like that is really weird. Why would you literally have that displayed though? That makes no sense. Thanks for that. Gonna exit that down. But you kind of get the idea. People would share images like this, like there'd be a whole host of them, just images that don't really have any context. It's that liminal feeling where like something is missing, but also it doesn't make sense anyway. Like this just, it feels weird to look at. Post disquieting images that just feel off, which is exactly where this thing used to appear. And it does make sense. Like, as I said before, just looking at it, it looks unusual. It doesn't make sense. This image also made an appearance back, as you can see, in 2018 here. So this was posted even a year before the one we just looked at. But there was something interesting about this image here. Believe it or not, guys, it's this here, this kind of numerical thing followed up by .jpg. This houses some pretty important information, would you believe it? Like, just using this looks like a random string of numbers, but it does have context, and I'll show you exactly how. So if we do just go ahead, copy this, and then just just take it into a website. This is actually something called like a Unix timestamp, I believe. If you guys are curious about what the Unix timestamp is, it's a date and time representation widely used in computing. It measures time by the number of non-leap seconds that have elapsed, blah, blah, blah. It began though, basically, as you can see, the 1st of January 1970. So every single number you're seeing in these images is like a second rolling by. So with that knowledge, like we could just simply drop this number in here and convert this. And you can see down here, it breaks it down. It gives you the timestamp of where this image was basically downloaded from, you would see. So that Unix time is very important. It actually gives like a digital catalog of when images and time were taken, so you can know the date and time of that. But let's go back to this kind of document here, which details what was going down. Because of the 2018 post Unix file name that pointed to 2012, this is unfortunately an image I can't find, guys, so I can't verify this, but this team did actually find it. And using that Unix file name, they obviously found an image post from 2018. When they actually put the image and got the Unix time code, they realized when the image was taken, which was actually 2012. It's weird because that's like so long before the internet was aware of this, so this image has been around for all of that time. Due to this, I decided to devote countless hours of my time scouring ancient 4chan archives for the years 2010. So this person went in just simply trying to find this information for the image that they could link to. All the images from that period of 4chan archives were broken, so that must have been so hard to be able to dig in and actually try and verify where this image is. It's probably why I can't even find it. So this person, whilst they were researching, they couldn't even see the images. They were literally relying on like the image information just to try and get a link with this. So they basically went through, they did that, they found a lot of stuff and compiled that information into a Google Doc for other people to look through and experiment, because obviously they couldn't do this all on their own. It would take them so long to do. This takes on to part 2, which is called Serera. They were going through my list of threads and seeing which ones had image hashes attached to them. An image hash is essentially a unique code that 4chan and other sites use to identify the images, so to keep it unique. Some of them were broken, but some, including this one, had them available. After taking the hash link of the one posted above, they began searching the archives with the hash in case a post had been archived from that board that wasn't covered by the old Sage Mo. And using this, they actually managed to find something on a TV board, and this is exactly what they found here. This was it. They were able to locate this image right here, and this dates all the way back to 2011. And this one, it comes with, again, the image found attached that we all know and love. This is the most horrifying image I've ever seen. Are there any movies like this or truth stranger than fiction? So like this was before anyone knew what it was, and already people were getting uncomfortable about like what this image was all about, like where did it come from? And you can see like what they went ahead and did from this point on, like they really went in. Just on this one singular image, you can see the image quality is enhanced. They were like rectangle drop ceiling smoke detector and looking at like everything that might point to where in the world this may actually come from. Unclear wallpapers, like they were even looking like indent section doesn't reach the ceiling. Like that's like the eeriest thing about this for some reason. Like why? That's something you never see. This is fascinating too. Like here we go. We got a backroom image assumption. So they were going like they remodeled this in 3D just to get an idea of depth and like the space that could be here. Due to unsealing everything outside of the image is assumptions. Left front wall could be lowered protrusion. Stairs could be what is behind this left wall here, they're saying. Could be an office building due to the cubicles, so yeah, that could make sense. And the assumption was that the image came from between this date here all the way up to 2018, but we already know it goes further back than that. There was 2011 images found. And look, they used like an image key here. This is what's so fascinating about this kind of, like the way people were able to locate this down. Like they were looking at the architecture, like important stuff, what some of the labels might mean, like fluorescence lights, commercial building, you know, they were looking at the wallpaper. Type B outlets are seen on this image are most commonly found in like these countries, so they kind of narrowed it down, I guess, to, you know, these sort of areas. The question still did come about, like, is it real? Like, is this place actually official? And they did even test on this, like, there's something called error level analysis, which you can see here. It's a forensic photo analysis technique that involves analyzing the JPEG errors in a picture. So they were trying to basically verify that, you know, it wasn't a fake place that someone had invented on the computer and just put through many, you know, processing layers to give the illusion of a real place back in time. Looking at this image here, it says, this is what the errors of the original version of the image look like. There are many errors here which suggest that the photo is an original encode that hasn't been modified. And it gives an example. This is a 2021 version of basically when it has been modified, so you can see like the difference here. People even did tests like to verify a similar pattern to the original Backrooms image in that 640 by 40 camera in 2003. So that might point more towards a date, considering this does look very similar. So I believe what they were basically getting at from this is that this original 2011 post that was made right here, this did basically represent the original image. Someone had basically downloaded, saved it, and then just reused it. There had been no alterations to the size of it, like the aspect ratio. It was a 4:3 image. But this is where things start to get interesting, because this is the original post. Obviously, it's archived, so you can't access it, but the image that was basically when it was posted, it came with this attached here. So you can see this was the handle, which gave a lot of information that people could use to understand what this photo was. This was a major breakthrough because it implies it was taken with a Sony digital camera, and that image on the TV board was saved from the direct source. So someone had just simply right-click, save as, got the image, posted it there. So with this like piece of information, they were basically trying to find a matching file name that used this right right here on the internet, right? There should be a way to locate this, hopefully. Despite no initial results and confusion regarding the capitalization of the D in the image, it seems like this user thought outside the box and plugged the file name into Twitter. Old Twitter posts wouldn't be cached by simple Google searches, so this was a smart move. When going through the search results, he found this tweet from 2019. The post features the exact file name, and it seems to be offering the source of an image with this link, which is actually a link to this place which says here the name, Hobbytown's Kosh. So if we look at this tweet here and we actually click this, when it loads you, what you're going to see is nothing. There is nothing that can be found. The page looking doesn't exist. So there was one more thing we could rely on to basically use this, and it was the Wayback Machine to see if there was anything there. The post features the file name, which is there, and it seems to be offering a source from the image which we see here. The link to the tweet was broken, but they threw it in the Wayback Machine and found one capture in 2004, and lo and behold, they basically came up with what they were looking for. This was the image you can see right there at the top that's using this, and the timestamp here is July 2004, so the image existed on the site from that point. This is where it gets interesting. If you right-click and save this image, though, we actually see it comes up with this same name here. Now, I've already got this saved. I'll overwrite it, and this being the base image, it's likely gonna have all of the information needed. So if we were to right-click this image, if you guys don't know, most of the time when you take pictures, there's sort of like digital information within them, like ranging from the ISO, the camera that was used, the date of the image, more importantly. So if we right-click and ask for the file information, it actually spits out all of this here, which tells us the 12th of June 2002. That is the origin of this image, and there you go, all the information. It matches up what they were looking for, and you can even see like the ISO, the f-stop, which is crazy, even the shutter speed, and it was done on a Sony CyberShot 6.1mm, so that's wild, bro. This takes over to part 4. So Liam and Sorora then both independently from each other removed the file from the link and replugged it into the Wayback Machine to find their website as it appeared in 2002, because we knew that was when the image was taken. From this, they basically got a location, they knew who the business was, and that was discovered by Sorora. Further scraping their website and the Wayback Machine led to him finding this link here. So if we click on this using the Wayback Machine, this directs us right here, guys, the new Revolution Raceway updated 3rd of the 2nd, 2003. Looking at the image, it doesn't look good. Like all of these are kind of like broken up. We can't see a whole lot, but if we scroll down just a little bit, you guys, like, you see exactly what's going on here, right? That's it. This is the image. Right click, save as. There's the information. And what's interesting is this second one here that you can also save with a different name. And what's really cool is that this is a different angle of what we know is the Backrooms, that space. You right click this when you look at like the file information, and you can see again 12th of June 2002 for that one. And that basically led to this conclusion. On March 2nd, 2003, the Backrooms photo was uploaded to the Hobbytown Ockish website under the original file name, which we see there, as part of their renovations blog. That's all it was. It was simply just a renovations blog. It was a previous building that was being used by something, and they were scrapping this in replacement of their business, obviously, and they were just simply making like a digital timestamp of their experience as they gutted the building to put in what they wanted. And in the images, guys, is exactly what we see here. One of the first things that I thought when I got on this page, and I'm sure everyone else has too, is the fact that look at all these images that don't exist anymore, guys. So there would have been so much more reference for what this space was before, and we would have been able to, you know, save those images and really get a good look at them. I mean, look, you can't do anything, but they cataloged all of this. So at one point in time, this would have been viewable. And it's crazy to think that this, like, you know, this space to anyone is meaningless. I'm sure hundreds of thousands of spaces exist like this currently. But for whatever reason, someone decided to take that one image and just add this story to it, to the extent where people then, it created this immersive story, and the world that's been built around this now, this picture that was snapped in probably less than a second with zero planning, that's all of the context that was needed to now go up to a point where Kane Pixels is working on a Backrooms movie. Like, think about that. People might be wondering, so this is obviously, this area is now gone, like they renovated this, so they removed what was there, and what's in place of it is actually an RC race car track. As you can see here, these are some of the images that people have taken, and it's kind of cool because the OG place even recognizes that they, you know, they know about this image. It's kind of gone full circle, like what they were doing, they were, you know, removing things, and now they've built this like kind of hobby space as a result, but they know how crazy the internet has been over this space that, yeah, they just probably built not really thinking about anything. They did include these two images here, which is kind of interesting, like side by side. I don't know if these two images represent like this here, because you can kind of see like we've got these metallic beams that come down. I don't know if these were kind of built over the top, and this is showing like the same rough perspective. It could be like the images kind of flip the other way, you know what I'm trying to say? It may not even be though, because you can see windows in this shop, whereas this doesn't seem to have any. It's kind of confusing what this may be. I do see this, which doesn't look like it has any windows, so that could actually be that point. Maybe this wall was like put in place to separate two areas. I'm not really sure. So yeah, it would have been nice to have like a conclusion that this place was actually as creepy. This was like a military government old school office. It was just a place, and now people go there to race cars for fun. That's the Backrooms. To think as well, people have been going there not knowing for decades by this point, just to have fun, and then here we are over on the internet just like going crazy to discover where this image came from. And honestly, we've built this entire fictional world around it. It's just wild. But yeah, guys, hopefully you did enjoy this. I probably didn't explain everything. I'll probably link like a Reddit post down below if you guys want to look at this more in you know, detailed information. I didn't cover every part of this because I felt like these people did a lot of analysis, and you guys should read the way they did it and their methods, because these were the talented people who actually located this image, not myself. Just wanted to speak about it. But yeah, let me know if you guys did enjoy this. It feels kind of confusing to make a video, like kind of messy all over the place, but hey, we'll see. Maybe in the editing we'll string something together. Either way, if you guys did enjoy this video, why not drop that like rating? And hey, if you're new around here, why not subscribe for more videos just like this one right here? So thanks so much for watching this video, guys. Of course, if you did enjoy. And there you go, the Backrooms. We race cars in there now.